G'day and welcome back again to Dad vs Son. I'm going to try my next scenario for Combat Commander Europe by GMT Games and designed by Chad Jensen. As I said in the last one, I've downloaded virtually every different scenario that I can at the moment, and I'm playing through what I've got in chronological order. So chronologically, the next scenario for me is scenario number 14 out of the box, and it is At the Crossroads, and this is 15th September, so 13 days after the last time, where the Poles did really well and held off the first German push. So in this one, the story is on the 9th of September, the Polish Poznan army, encircled by the rapid German advance, attempted to force a crossing of the Bzura River to the southeast. My apologies, I don't know how to speak Polish, so I'm going to stuff any sort of names. This attack inadvertently allowed time for the Polish Pomorze army, also trapped in the pocket, to regroup further east near the Campinos forest. Many attempts were made by elements of the Pomorze army to effect a withdrawal from the pocket east towards Warsaw. By the middle of the month, however, only 2 divisions had made the escape. On September 15, one such skirmish saw a company of Polish regulars attempt a breakout along the infrequently used farm road. So, we're using map 14, Axis at the bottom, Allies at the top. And the German forces is Sgt Biermann, who's got a bit more experience now after losing his fight against the Poles last time. He has 4 rifle squads, 1 weapons team, 2 LMGs, 1 light mortar, and 1 foxhole. And he has some reinforcements coming in at turn 3, which will be Lieutenant Laubach, 3 rifle squads and an LMG, and the Germans surrender at 7. Polish forces, again using the French cards and counters, is Lieutenant Allier, Sergeant Picard and Sgt Virgil, with 2 BARs, 9 chasseurs, 2 LMGs and 1 50mm mortar, and their surrender value is 10. Again, this is starting in 1939. The victory marker is in the 3 space for the Axis. The Allies are troop quality line, the same as the Axis. Or did I say Axis twice then? Either way, Allies and Axis are line. The Allies have 4 orders per turn, Axis 3. The length of this game is the 0 to 6 space for sudden death. Allies attacking, Axis defending, and the Axis hope the initiative. We have objective W is open, which is simply exit points are doubled. So this is where we really want to try and get the Poles off the map. And then we have a random objective for both sides as well. The Axis gets to set up first, and they can be 8 deep, so anywhere from A10 up to and including 3, so A3 through A10 and across. The Allies will then set up last, our 2 hexes deep, so in the 1-2 rows. And the Axis start the game in control of all 5 objectives. So, that's it. I'm going to pause it here. I will set up the Germans and explain why I've done that so wrongly, and then I'll then set up the Poles and tell you why I was stupid to do the way I did that as well. Again, in this scenario, there is no artillery. Okay, so I'll see you shortly. Righto, so I've set up the Germans. So what I've done is I've placed their foxhole over here with Sergeant Bierman, a rifle squad and a light machine gun in there. Now the reason for that is that gives them a line of sight right up this half or third of the map. I've placed a rifle squad with an LMG here at Objective 1 in the building, because again that gives him a line of sight and the ability to put down covering fire for at least half the map. I've placed a rifle squad up here in this brush behind this hedge, simply to give a little bit of cover up this way in case they decide to come up through this gully. And the mortar is down here. It has a range of 2 to 13, and the special rule for this one is that any attack made by a German mortar may have its line of sight traced from the sergeant instead of from the mortar itself. This activates Bierman for the turn. The targeting roll must still use the actual range from the mortar to the target hex, but any hindrance modifying the roll will be based on the line of sight from Bierman. So what I'm hoping to do is use the line of sight from the mortar itself, which can sort of see everything over here, and Bierman can see everything over the other side, and that should cover sort of half the board mortar-wise. And then basically as a speed bump, I've put a rifle squad up here in these buildings at Objective 4. I don't see any sense in putting anybody up here in Objective 5 because the Allies can set up anywhere around here if they want to. And because the Allies have the first turn, they just blow anybody away that was in here. Or if they're really lucky, they'll have an advance and they'll just go straight in and melee. The same here with 3. I don't have enough troops at the moment. Seeing as my reserves don't come on to the third turn, and they're going to come on down on this side somewhere, I'm hoping to have them, some of them, if not all of them, basically come up through these buildings and be able to put a bunch of fire out this way, because we're very sparse at the moment. Righto, so what I'm going to do now is pause it again. I'll set up the poles and then we can get into it. See you soon. Righto, welcome back again. So I finished the setup for the poles, and this is what I've decided to do. So I've placed Sergeant Picard over here. He has a bar with a line team with a light machine gun and 2 Sgt squads. I've broken up a couple of the Sgt squads to make the line teams. So their mission is basically to sweep straight down the board towards Sergeant Bierman and get off the board if possible, taking him out if they can. So they can move relatively fast through the fields. There's no move penalty at all, but at least it's a 1 hindrance coming down, so hopefully that'll help a little bit. My second batch is here in the centre, and this is Lieutenant Aliau, who has a bar squad with a line with the line team with the 50mm mortar. He then has a Sgt squad with a line backup and another Sgt here. Now the reason I didn't put the lieutenant here is because I don't know if I'm going to get a move action in the first turn, even though I've got the first turn. If I don't, then this is the only one that's actually right out in the open, who has no cover, no hindrance or anything else. So the idea is they will come down into here, consolidate, try and take out the rifle squad down here, and then basically they will sneak forward as they can to try and take these three objectives and then hold the line for the time being and see what happens. Last but not least, we have our third setup, which is Sgt Virgil, who has a 3 chasseur squads, 1 line team with an LMG. And they're over there just before or in the brush, and their idea is to sweep down their left flank, which is the Germans' right flank, and basically, if possible, take out this rifle team and then this weapons team with the light mortar and get off the board. So that's my cunning plan. Basically 1 pinning team and 2 running like all buggery teams. And hopefully we get them down fairly well, if we're lucky, before the German reinforcements come on. Righto, so that's the setup. I don't think there's too much more to say, so we might cut it there and then we'll come back for turn 1. Again, as per usual, I know I'm going to make mistakes. Please point them out, and I will try and correct them as I go along. The comments that I've had so far from the first scenario for the first couple of turns were very helpful. And yes, I did screw up a couple of times where I actually used an advance as a move, which was really stupid, but I got excited or something, I don't know. And also, what else did I do? I can't remember now. What did I do? Ah, that's right. I used one of the machine guns in a basically consolidated fire attack, even though he wasn't adjacent to the other teams. So I shouldn't have done that. So I shall try and do better. I shall endeavour. Thank you very much again for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you shortly. Bye for now.